Um, obviously Pittsburgh's a pretty good team. They shoot the ball well. They play with a swagger. They're tough. They're a great rebounding team. Felt like we started the game the first 5 minutes. They were the aggressor on the boards, which hurt us, put us on our heels, which didn't set the tone for the way we talked about we wanted the game to go. But at the end of the game, when I look at our offensive numbers, 51% from the field, 47% from the three, 86% from the free throw line, then I go back to, what is that? What is that? I know we're down men. I'm not making excuses. I know we miss JJ. I know we miss Trey being on the floor. I'm not making excuses. But I'm saying if we shoot those numbers, if we play offense that efficiently, how are we not winning that game? And so then I go back to 18 turnovers. Then I go back to how many times did we foul a three-point shooter? It's the mental focus to be able to fight through and play winning basketball. Yeah, you did some things well, but we all know that winning is hard and you got to do a lot of things well consistently if you want to win. Questions?
Kenny, when it comes to the 18 turnovers, it led to 28 points for them. What are you seeing with the turnovers? Are your guys a little too casual with the ball at times?
That's one thing. There are plays that you have to read. This is a game of reads. So it may be a lob. It may not be a direct pass. It may be fake a pass, make a pass. We seem to be throwing the ball across our body. We seem to be making direct passes when we should be making lob passes. We seem to be making bounce passes across on the perimeter when we should be making and dribbling over and making direct passes. Those little things come back and burn you when you're playing a good team. And look, some of this is also inexperience. But at the end of the day, we work on it, we talk about it, we teach it. They got to grasp it.
Yesterday, you said that a big key for this game was going to be contesting shots, and you mentioned, fouling on a lot of those threes. But I'm just wondering what you saw in terms of a defensive effort, and just grading the players in that regard today.
I thought in spurts we were good. I thought they felt us for a majority of the game. But I also thought what we gave up, being in the zone, being the bottom man in the zone and the ball's on the opposite side, you have to sprint out and know that Henson is going to shoot that ball whether you're there or not. So you better hard contest without fouling him.
Kenny, last year against Pitt, I think in both meetings you talked a little bit about letting go of the rope with that group. Did you see any signs of that today from what you saw from guys out there?
No, I did not see them let go of the rope. Actually, I thought they fought pretty hard. I thought we didn't play very smart. I thought that, when you're playing offense and you catch the ball and you want to process the game after you catch the ball, then you're too late. So a guy comes off a ball screen, and instead of attacking, he backs up and he's dribbling to see what's open. That's too late. You got to know that you got to make that play before that ball hits your hand and what's there, and you attack it right away. We didn't do that.
Sorry. Kenny, just your thoughts on Pitt's two freshman guards that started today?
They didn't play like freshmen. They were poised. They were under control. They took what the defense gave them. They put pressure on us. They competed defensively. They were good. They were very good.
Kenny, as far as with Caleb Glenn, got a lot of minutes, +5 on the group today. Just thoughts on his performance, and also, especially because you're shorthanded, do you see his minutes maybe even increasing along the way?
Of course. Look, I just told the kid, I'm proud of you. You made a lot of mistakes, but if you play hard, I can live with your mistakes. You play aggressive, you play with confidence, I can live with your mistakes. At the end of the day, I'm looking at him and D-Lo and saying, all right, can you guys step on the court and look like you're confident in what you're doing? Don't look unsure. You're going to make mistakes. You can't play this game without making mistakes. But if you look like you're confident in what you're doing and you're aggressive, you can survive a battle.
Kenny, Mike James had 2 really good spurts. Were you running plays for him, or what was going on during that time?
We found him a couple times. One time we ran a play. He came off wide open. We went back to it. He came off open again. I think the last time, one of the guards, I think Tyler or Sky, saw him and found him the third time and talked about we should run something to get the ball to Mike.
Kenny, from a personnel standpoint, this isn't kind of the team you expect to be coaching at this point. What was kind of your game plan in trying to compensate for that, especially when you have Sky and Brandon getting early foul trouble and have to come and sit out?
It's why I do what I do. And what I mean by that is why I tell every player, if you got a jersey on your back, you better be ready. It's why I'm saying I don't believe that players should feel like they're walk-ons. Whether it's my son, whether it's Aiden, whether it's Hersey, you better be ready. You got a jersey on your back that says Louisville, you better be ready. You better be ready in practice. You got to do everything every other player does. Be ready. I believe in you. When you get on that court, it may be under distress where we have to play you longer minutes. You better be ready. Now, I'm expecting those guys to be locked in and focused so they don't get in foul trouble. In a million years, would I expect the way that Brandon had been playing to come out and have 3 points and 3 rebounds? No. I need more from him. I need more leadership from him. I need more fight from him. So it is what it is in that regard, but we have to always have a mentality of next man up. The last thing in reference to that, J.J. Traynor. What J.J. did to come back and be ready to play, he should be commended on. He worked every day, 2-3 times a day to get back healthy. Yesterday in practice, he got bumped the wrong way, had the re-injury of the shoulder. Devastating to this program, devastating to this team, but he did everything in his power to get back and help us win games, and I commend him for that.
Yeah, they had 11 offensive rebounds. They seemed to be very aggressive on the glass, and then they had that good spurt at the beginning of the second half. Was that just your guys not matching their toughness, or their being a more mature physical team?
I would say, they scored 2 or 3 baskets in a row off the same play, which was the bottom guy has to read, you got 2 people. And if you go too high, they're going to cut behind you. Well, we went too high and they cut behind us. They cut behind you one time, okay, but they can't do it a second time. You got to be able to make the adjustment. You're in the wrong spot if he's able to cut behind you. So I'd rather you be low and come out rather than you be high and give up a layup where there's nothing or nobody behind you. So, look, a lot of this, in my notes, I got self-imposed damages. It wasn't the scheme. It was somebody making a bad mistake, a bad decision to go too high when he's not supposed to go there. I got in my notes rebounding. We know that this is one of the best rebounding teams in the conference. We know that they're going to crash the board. We have to hit first or get hit. Got in my notes turnovers. Make sure that we don't turn the ball over, take care of the basketball. Got in my notes don't get bad fouls and put them on the free throw line. Well, we did that.
Given your personnel situation, is there any point in adding walk-ons at this point, or is it too late in the year to do that?
Good question. I hadn't thought about it. I just found out, JJ yesterday. So we're just trying to digest how we fix it, how we get guys to play better. If you got a great walk-on, send him my way. I need players.
I'm with JJ's injury. Do you foresee that something to where he can try to get a medical red shirt to get an extra year?
I don't know that answer. I really don't.
Do you have any idea of when either Trey or Mecha would be available again?
I'm hoping, they've been day-to-day for a while now. I'm hoping that soon they'll be back. I just put a little pressure on them, told them that if you're injured and you're hurt, you should be getting treatment 4 or 5 times a day. We need you. You're vital to this team, and we need every player to do what they have to do to get back on that court.
Yeah, Kenny, when you reference the self-imposed damages that you see on the court, what role do you think at all that preparation or coaching plays in any of that from you guys?
I think when you're preparing a team to play a game and you're talking about this team, so we talk about when we're in the zone, because obviously we can't just play one defense against good offensive teams. Then you have to talk about what could happen if you do this, if you do that. If they run this play, this is what we're doing. So we watched last year's game, and we saw that they ran a wheel action against our zone. Well, to go to the point of 2 backdoor cuts, we talked about that. We went over it. At the end of the day, self-imposed, I talked about it ad nauseum. He didn't get it. The player didn't make the adjustment. It's still my fault. So I'm good with that. I can live with it. I'm going to do the same thing next game. And I'm going to do all the preparation, and I'm still going to take the blame. In this business, all the wins, kids. All the losses, me. That's what this business is.